One, two, three. Welcome to Off the Rails, a podcast where we talk about anything and everything. We're trying to stay on topic. I'm Justin, and there is actually nobody here with me because today's episode is a special one. I'm kind of in the dark. It's currently 11:45 and 27 seconds p.m. Right? So it's late at night. But today's episode is a new segment that we're going to do called insert name take, right? So this is Justin's take. This is the first episode of Justin's take, and it's essentially just a solo episode where one of us, me or Natacia, just talks about whatever we want. And since it is the month of June, for this grand first episode of Justin's take, we will be talking about things all gay. I kind of want to name this episode or this Justin's take I Got a Queery, because that's just funny. That's probably what's gonna happen, but hopefully just follow along. Like, the thing about being gay, especially in high school, is like the people who bully you. Shout out to everyone who like called me gay or like did this weird thing where they would say like, "Hi Justin," like just randomly in the halls. And like everyone, like, I know it's a joke. Like, they don't actually mean like hi in a friendly way. It's more like a, "Wow, you're gay, bro." Like, okay, I get it. Like, the bit's over, right? But like, all the people who like bully you for your sexuality or anything, like your gender or whatever, if you're trans, if you are non-binary, if you're out, if you're part of the Alphabet Alliance, anyone. This goes out to anyone who like has deep resentment for anyone in the LGBTQ or plus kingdom, whatever. Like, there's a thing called reaction formation that I learned in psych. So reaction formation is kind of when you act, like the way you act is different from who you actually are, like what you actually believe. So like, if you're bullying another person for being gay, then by actual science, you are in fact a homosexual. And I just want to say that and put that out there because honestly, I see it. The people who's calling me gay, the people who's calling me names, y'all fruity. But nevertheless, I feel like since it is Pride Month, we just need to accept those who are closeted, accept people who have internalized homophobia. Because like, let's just talk about internalized homophobia. I like to joke I like to joke around saying that like I am homophobic despite being gay as a joke. And it is a joke. I love the gays, don't get me wrong, but internalized homophobia is actually so common. Like, it's when people say like, "Oh my god, like I'm gay but I don't want to date someone who's too gay." Like, what does that even mean? And like, the amount of hate, like, for example, let's get deep. Oh my god, let's get deep. Okay, so like, you don't understand the amount of self-hatred a gay goes through. Like, it's a lot. It's actually a lot. But like, once we come over that like self-hatred, that for some people like it's just all about religion and they just feel like they're a sinner or stuff, or they're going to hell. Like, it is, in fact, if anyone is dealing with thoughts of self-hatred or like internalized homophobia, first of all, you are not alone, right? A lot of people have it. A lot of people go through that mental process of saying that they're wrong, they're disgusting, this is gross, why was I made this way? God, please change me. A lot of people go through that. But the main thing I learned um, that kind of pulled me out of that this horrible abyss of self-hatred was simply just surrounding myself with people who are the exact opposite of me. And not like the straights. No. What I mean is like they constantly show how much they love you, right? Um and like listen, one's sexuality should not be the only thing about a person, right? Let's go back to bullying. Someone calls you gay. Okay, we're gonna pull up facts. Babe, you're straight. Babe, you have curly hair. Girl, you have brown eyes. Okay, yes, right? Someone calls you gay. So what? It is just a fact. And even if it isn't a fact, that's just weird, right? Because, like, okay, and what? Like, you call me gay, like, that's supposed to be an insult? Like, it's literally 2021, and people still go around the school saying, oh, you're gay. Like, does it really, like, should it really have an impact on you if someone calls you gay? Like, let's just process that. Like, they really thought they were going to do something, but let's try again. Let's be more creative, guys. If anyone wants to bully me, the only thing I want from you is just to be creative about it. Because if you go out here saying, oh, you're Asian, oh, hey, Ling Ling, hey, insert F slur, like, hey, gay, like, I've heard this all before. Let's be a little more original. Like, insult me to my core, not just my outer shell. Okay? But going back to important things, like, sexuality is just one tick or one box that you have to check out of dozens and dozens of boxes, right? It is not your defining characteristic. Frankly, your like the term gay is not a characteristic at all, because if we treat, like, for example, I was watching this one thing that was called like one word association, right? And it is a bunch of men, like, think of associations with the word gay, right? Or I think it was acting gay, right? And well, everyone essentially said that, oh, it's just people who are feminine, people who are like a little more colorful than others. um but like that is not, like, y'all really think all gay men are real fruity? No. It is a spectrum for a reason, right? And I don't think, the one thing I really hate is how much we need to label. Like it doesn't make sense how already marginalized or already like out of normal we are by just being gay, but within the gay community itself we kind of section each other even more into like factions of like, oh, this person's masculine, this person's feminine, this person's, oh, I don't want to say other ones, but you get what I mean. Like, we're already so divided by straights versus gays, and then within the gay community we divide each other even more, which becomes sort of toxic in a way, where it's like we can't just be a person. Like, we have to come with labels and stuff, and it just gets me so riled up that like we and I say that as both straight people and people of the LGBTQ plus community find a need to section each other off from each other. And like during this month of June, even though it is currently the 17th. Oh, before I carry on, Natacia, by the time this video comes out, she'll be in the States. So a bunch of our episodes will be on Zoom. If you get to this point, just you get that little teaser of what's to come. So everything will be on Zoom probably, and hopefully there'll be some other people in the States joining Natacia. But anyways, going back to labeling, like dividing a community that's already divided from what's considered normal. Like, I know a lot of people find that normal. That like people who act the same, who like the same things band together, right? Makes sense. But the way the oh my god, why can't I speak? LGBTQ plus community has been doing it, it's like a competition. And I'm like, well, why? This is not, as some people say, the oppression Olympics. Like, we don't have to do this. And just know that, like, a label, like, no one needs a label. You can identify with the Q. You can even identify with the plus. Right? You don't even have to identify with the thing. You can just say, like, yeah, I'm not straight. You don't need to clarify for anyone but yourself, right? And a lot of people, like bullies and stuff, will kind of label you just based on how you're acting, right? So for example, I like to use this analogy or this metaphor, this visual, this imagery that, like, throughout my whole entire life, I live in a glass closet, right? So when I was quote unquote closeted, babe, it was see-through. You could see me. It's fine, right? Everyone knew, right? But the people who bullied me in middle school and high school already determined what I was, right? And it literally just, it was determined based on how I acted. Because even if I was straight, I definitely didn't act I didn't act what society thinks is straight. So like, for a guy, you gotta be really masculine, so many sports, I love games, I love shooting people on video games and fishing, I have a low voice and I love sports, right? Or rap music, right? It's those like stereotypical things that, like, what quote unquote makes a man or what makes a guy, right? That we've kind of adopted as a society as a whole. That kind of set me apart from being a straight dude, right? And a lot of guys with, I don't want to say internalized homophobia, because who knows if they're gay, but reaction formation yet again. But just people who don't like things out of the ordinary, they just want to shove you into a label, right? And I know that there are actually a lot of feminine straight dudes who pull more girls than masculine dudes who bully gay people. Like, please, y'all think you're doing something. So being gay is not, it shouldn't have a set list of characteristics that fall under there, right? And a lot of like TV shows, movies, books often push like stereotypical quote unquote gay characteristics. Like, you know, every movie with a gay character has that one gay teen or adult that's like, yes, like, go queen, yes, strut that, you know, like, not everyone is like that. Some straight men are like that. Like, there is no need for us to follow stereotypes. But I honestly think that the only reason why we follow stereotypes is because it's just what we're comfortable with. And it's, baby, it's time to get uncomfortable. Like, do we really need to have, I don't want to say labels, because some people find, for example, identifying with a label a lot more comfortable than just being, oh yeah, I'm not straight. Like, there is something very comfortable with the fact of, like, these are my people. Like, I know that there are other people who are the same sexuality as me, but I think the issue is when, number one, other people want to shove you into a label, or other people like force you into a label. Number two, when a label adopts stereotypical characteristics that associate with that label, because that's just annoying. And number three, I think it's just when labels develop sub-labels or subtitles or whatever you want to call it, right? Or subgroups. I'll call it that. Subgroups. Because, like, the whole point of Pride Month, or the whole point of the LGBTQ plus community, is to create unity between individuals who felt like they've never been a part of the normal, right? But with labels, with bullies, with internalized homophobia and stuff like that, it just makes our journey to feeling normal a lot bumpier than other people. Now, like I said again, this is definitely not Oppression Olympics. Every marginalized group has its own set of problems, but I think because it's Pride Month, we should address some issues with the gay community. And this is my personal opinion. I am not Reddit. I am not Twitter. I am not any sort of news station. This is just my personal opinion, because this is Justin's take. So this is my take on essentially gays. But it's hard. Like we as in gay people, are already so pushed out of, I want to say, like, guy culture, pushed out of like the norm, that making subgroups and sometimes shaming other subgroups is just so toxic. Like, there really is no need to attack someone of your community, because, like, you're going through the same thing. You're all in the same boat. You're all, like, oppressed. You're all bullied for something you cannot change, something that isn't a choice, right? Yet you choose to attack someone who's like you, right? I just think it's weird. I just think that, like, there is no need to go about saying, for example, the term twink is essentially describing a young gay male, right? But a lot of, like, gay people make fun of twinks for just, I don't know, for whatever reason. And, like, what do? Exist? Yeah. Some never mind, I'm gonna take that right back. I was about to say something really weird. But it's just like come on, like, I'm oppressed, you're oppressed. Why can't we just be oppressed together? There's no need to oppress me even more for something that, like, we low key, like, have something in common, right? Like, bullies are another thing of something. Like, they will attack you for walking weirdly, attack you for dressing up weirdly, attack you for having a higher pitched voice than other dudes or bros or whatever like that, they will do whatever they can to for a gay guy, right? To kind of emasculate you, if that's the word. um, but like for no reason, right? So if you're already pushed out of the normal straight guy, right? Straight guy domain kingdom, and you meet another dude, another gay dude, right, who's like more feminine than you, right? There's no need for you to attack him. Not like physically attack him, but like call him like, oh, you're so gay, like you're gayer than me. Like even that is just, what does that even mean? There's one type of gay, and how can one person be gayer than you, right? Like there really is no need for that. And that's what I think is really toxic about the gay community, is just that a lot of people say that we are united, we love is love, like we love everyone in the community, like you are supported, but really sometimes it gets real toxic, and some people are not supported, which I think is kind of hypocritical for like on behalf of like gay people, because like, baby, if you're part of the rainbow, you're part of the rainbow, that's it. Like there's no need to differentiate. Oh yeah, like we support everyone, but if you're like this, like that doesn't make any sense. So if you are an ally, if you are closeted, if you are questioning, if you are actually fully out, just keep that in mind, that like, number one, you do not need a label. You can choose to label yourself. Make sure no one else labels you. Number two, bullies may or may not come for you, and if they do, just know that they might be going through something. Like there's a reason why they're attacking you. They're scared of you, right? They could be gay themselves, but the only way they show their bros that they're not is by bullying you, which I think is a stupid thing. Number three is that like, it's okay to, how do I put this? It's okay to not want to identify. It's okay to not be gay, if that makes sense. Like, you don't have to strut around like with a pride flag everywhere you go, because being gay, being lesbian, being bisexual, being trans, being queer, being anything is not a set, like there isn't a set of requirements to identify a certain way, right? So like, baby, if you're gay, that's all you need to say, right? Like there's no need, like you don't have to change who you are. It's just a label. And like, I don't know, I just feel like a lot of people think that, oh, during Pride Month all the gays will become, I don't know, will walk in heels and down the streets and wave their flags and drink a lot and party. No. Some people don't even go out that much, right? Go out for Pride, for example. Some people, like, there is no need for people to think that once you identify as being gay, you like turn into something. No. It is, you're just gay, right? That's like the outer shell. And then you have different things that make you you. And being gay is not. It is one of your identities, but it's not your only identity. And I think that's a very important message for anyone who is part of our community. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining me of this episode, this messy episode of Justin's Take, where we talk about all the queries I have about just gay things. It was kind of rough, but we got there in the end. But to all my gay brothers and sisters, I love you guys so much. Happy Pride, and hopefully that you're celebrating it in your own special way. To all my questioning people, it's okay. Honestly, normalize experimenting, because like you got to do what you got to do, but like it's okay if you don't identify with the gay community at the end. As long as you don't revert back to like bullying people, you're good, right? To all my closeted people, you'll get there. When you come out, it should be on your own terms. Don't let anyone force you to do something you don't want to do. And when you come out, we'll be here. We're ready to welcome you. And lastly, to my homophobes, my homos, to be politically correct. Why? That's it. Anyways, thank you guys for joining this episode of Justin's Take, the very first one of the Natacia / Justin Takes segment. I hope you enjoyed my little rant about all things gay. If you want to follow this podcast on Instagram, you can follow it at offtherails.pod. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you see this on YouTube. And if you want to follow me personally on Instagram, it's at justin.tram with 2 T's and a Justin. Thank you very much. I love you guys. Happy Pride. Goodbye.